Good morning, Tin Cup. How you doing, Chief? Back in a sec. Who was that? Pilotbugs, thank you very much for that raid. Whew. Welcome in, guys. Thank you so much for that, dude. McCraw, Vez, Joe, Tin Cup, welcome in, everyone. Brr. Thank you so much for that pallet box. Welcome, welcome. Razor, welcome in. Trauma, thank you for joining in with the raid. Appreciate that, guys. Thank you. I'll be right back. Hope we have an epic stream. I'm gonna lurk. No props, dude. Go and enjoy the food. Argument devs. What size of ultra wide screen are you playing on? I think it's 40-inch. I'm not 100% sure actually. Exclamation mark kit will tell you what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Michael the Dark Lawrence, and welcome to another episode of The Darkness here on Twitch. It is Sunday chat, 7th of August, 2022, day 81 in a row. Hope you're all doing well. Yeah, 38 inches, Jesus. It's actually a really good monitor, the LG, because it's classed as 4K, ultra wide, which is really, really cool. And all that good stuff. But welcome in, guys. Hope you're all doing well. Malcolm in Macraw, Razor, Devs, Palletbox, thank you very much for that raid again. Trauma, welcome, welcome, welcome. Vez, Joe, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Exclamation mark, hold fast for homie. Make sure you guys get that in just now. I'm going to whack it off myself. We have a giveaway that ends today. You can get involved. It's super easy. It's in support of another content creator who a few other creators are doing a donation drive. It's 5 hours left. I don't know if I'll be online for it. However, obviously, all the rules and details are there. You can go check out the giveaway page, or sorry, the donation drive page. Learn about it all there. But obviously, because we hit 3,000, I said I would do a giveaway for an LTI talent. This morning, or 24 minutes ago, technically this morning, I dropped a wee 50 bomb as well. I don't have anything more that I can spare right now, but a wee $50 went down from me just to try and push us up. Apparently they're going to try and do another giveaway or something like that, 4K. So let's try and push a little bit more, guys. If you have anything 5, 10, you know, let's go for it. Whew. A wee message as well went out from Kinbum, is that we have hit the 3K mark. Thank you so much for everyone that helped. Thank you for the donation, sharing on your socials and reaching out. This has been a rough few years for us, and we're thankful. There we go. The news from the panel wasn't good, and Homie and his family are facing some hard decisions where to go from here. A lawsuit may still be on the table, but the process will be long, and bills won't just wait. So obviously, as if you read the whole thing, the guy got COVID, went from 12 to 14-hour shifts to where the doctor only restricted him to 8 hours. That wasn't acceptable with the company or what they wanted, so they shit-canned him in so many words. And this is just basically money to help his family and stuff like that. And Kinbum is like stressing out that, stress the point, I should say. Say, look, we aren't trying to raise funds for new stream rigs or flight sticks or new GPUs or monitors, not for a vacation or concert tickets. They're literally trying to help him and his family survive, eat, all those kind of things. So again, guys, if you have the ability to drop 510, massively appreciate it. If we could try and get 3,500 by the end of this stream, I'm going to try and push towards that if you can. So yeah, but also, get involved in the giveaway. It's free to do so. You just follow, go to the link. Go to Holdfast Homie and follow him on Twitch, and that's it. If you want to do more, you do more. But it more spreads the word out, especially if the tweets are really good. Obviously, everything's super, super easy. It falls back to nothing for me. Like, literally, you don't have to follow me on any social. It's nothing to do with me. It's just using my platform, my channel, as a way of extending the range, the grapevine, whatever you want to call it these days. So yeah, if you can, guys, massively appreciate it. Blasty, good morning to you. Bust Up Gamer, good morning. Hope you're all well, guys. On Sunday. So yeah. Get involved. Exclamation mark, hold fast for Homie. Let's get that spammed out like every 10 minutes, moderators, if you can. If you forget, don't worry about it. Let's just keep pushing. And try and get as much as we can. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I've changed some settings from last night, where I'm going to try some new strafes and rolls for some flight just now. Now, Jumptown is on Lyria. I hate Lyria the most. It's too fast, too furious. Everyone just kites at 1,000 meters a second. Desync kicks in for fast range combat. It's just not for me. So it will be switching over at some point, but I don't know if I'll be online at that point. And it should be no, it won't be Microtech. It would be yellow. I can't remember actually the order it goes in. I think the next one would be no, it would be Microtech. I'm pretty sure it's yellow after Microtech, but maybe not. Maybe it's Lyria. I really wish they actually had a website that showed you the order it goes in. That would be pretty dope. But yeah, Palbox, thank you very much for the follow on Instagram as well, dude. I appreciate that. Let me get this for okay, so we're good there. Again, thank you, Pallet, for the raid. Hope everyone is well. And let's go. So again, changed quite a few settings. Basically my strafes, added in quite a bit of saturation. My roll, I've added in saturation. The reason for that is I want to try and make some, the ability to snap and cut. So basically cutting when we invert and all that jazz should help me out, but it's going to throw off my flight for a few moments. I don't know, can you see this one? Look how blue that is. That's a lovely bluish hue. Deep down in my plumes. which is blueberry and raspberry. But I put a wee hint of origin in it, so it should be with rhubarb as well, which will be very, very tasty. I've changed some of my monitor like layout as well, not as in where they are positioned, but other OBS is sort of higher up, Discords and stuff are lower down, so I don't need to sort of raise my head up too much. Reduce saturation of strafes, yeah. So I brought it from 1 to 5, which basically means that it's going to move double the input. But the idea is I want to kind of stop shaking my joysticks around, if that makes any sense. I want to try and maybe lighten off the movements for them and whatnot. At least try, anyway. We'll see. We will try. So yeah, we're doing a little fly around to begin with. Oh no, don't need that. Do that for better FPS. I've literally not been on any of the PTU as well, and stuff like that. So again, like, we have this really snappy roll, which will take me a wee while to get into. So if we actually look at the controls, you can see here that this is the left stick, pedals are still on 1, and my pitch is on 1, but everything else is going to be a little bit snappier. And again, what I'm trying to achieve is where I don't have to move the joysticks as much. So the biggest thing obviously will be the roll is very, very snappy now. Now the pitch is still this lovely, I've got to move it a little bit more, but I might even get to the point where once I've got the roll down, because we're doing a few axes at a time. Now strafes are one of these things where it doesn't take me long to master. It's going to be the roll that's going to be the biggest issue. But eventually I will want to get the pitch down to 50 saturation as well, because I want to literally move my joysticks less, if that makes any sense. I don't want to keep doing all this wiggly. I've got really good reactions, but also I don't want to damage my peripherals by going too crazy. So we're going to keep the curves at 1.2, just for the sake of it. And yeah. Oh man, have I cut myself? Oh, it's not a cut. It's something under the nail. Ugh. Quite sore. Nothing worse than getting like a splinter underneath the nail. Ooh. So we'll bust the shubin. We'll see what the light is there. So yeah, we'll master the strafes. We don't need to have saturation for the yaw. That is so annoying. Little shit. Ooh. Hey, Mr. Duval, thank you very much for the tier free 21 month support. Good morning to you. How you doing, sir? How is America? America. I've been gone for a while. Glad to be back. Nice, dude. Nice. So yeah, we may even move the saturation on the pedals, but I really kind of want to just keep it, you know, stiff as we can. So again, this is going to be really dodgy flying for a bit, purely because, I mean, look at the fucking roll that I've got now on my sticks. I'm barely having to move it, like, it's crazy. However, like I said, this should make it where eventually I don't have to move my peripherals as much, and we actually get down to a very, like, realistic kind of flying. If you see here, I'll bring up the camera. to show off. So obviously that is like full roll, and it spins really fast, so when we're doing slight movements, you can see that you can barely see my fucking hand on the right actually moving. That's what we're wanting to get down. And the pitch requires a full pitch back, but I don't want to overextend that, because obviously we will massively black out in certain scenarios. But my main idea is I want to make my peripherals feel more like realistic peripherals in real life, like in a jet fighter, where we're barely having to move things. Now, for me to go from 50 or like from saturation 1 all the way to 0 on my throttle would be a very bad idea. I would be going maximum speed all the time. So I do want the ability to control it down slightly, but I also don't want to have to move my joysticks at all in the future, which will be really, really dope to actually do. So again, this is where we'll just practice on this, because PvP is one of these things where it's a different thing, different animal, you've got to do different things, but especially because I spend a lot of time in atmosphere, I just gotta get a feel for it a little bit better. And like I said, it won't take me that long. It'll just be where the precision is just slightly off for the time being. Like shifting around corners is going to be wobbly, but we will dial it in pretty fast. Like, holy fuck, I actually barely need to move my hands. That is scary. Holy fuck, man, we are doing 600 whilst banking, because I'm not over moving my hands. But it's freaking me out though. I can actually increase the speed. You fucking what? Jesus, that is ridiculously fast. My left hand is already starting to get sore because this is very, very fine movement. But I kind of like it, so it's going to be a little bit more than what I thought it would be. It's more I'm going to have to just get new muscle memory in the left hand for the twist anyway, because it's super, super fine. Oh, this is crazy. I actually don't even need to like completely yaw to get round. We're doing 620 at a 5G push, which is nuts. Not even blacking out at this stage. A little low on the roll is the biggest killer for me, because it's super, super sensitive. Back the way this time. So obviously you don't want to learn one corner or one trick, you want to make sure you can do both. Weird how, like, going left is my weaker roll, and I'm like 100 meters a second slower than going on my right. But I practice more on my right because why I practice the right is I find it easier to look over the shoulder when you're going right. See what I mean here? Like, there you go. I think if anything, the upstrafes are just so weird for me. It's like so fucking fast how you can upstrafe. This is where we need as much practice as we can before we do anything else. But if I master this, holy fuck. Very, very fast. Not fast in the game, just the movement is a lot faster. America is cool. Nice, nice. I'm wondering if I need the snappiness on the left and the right. The upstrafe is so sensitive like this. Like, even got a bit of a wobble to it because I can't precisely hold it, which is super, super strange. I mean, ooh, Miss Gabby's, how you doing, lovely? Thank you very much for that raid. Let me just come to a halt here. Hello, how's your day doing? Welcome in. Reserved my car, pretty happy. My first car, nice. What car did you go for in America, Mr. Tuvo? The one and only Sidar. Thank you very much for that, dude. Welcome in, guys. Hope you're all well. Big thumbs as well. Thank you very much for the follow beforehand. Winters, good day. Oh god, I can never say that word probably. So I can learn to lo-fi. I ordered Jules 6. Going to come show you up soon enough. Alright. I'll believe it when I see that. You're off? Yeah, totally understand. It's like super early in the morning for you. Go sleep. Thank you very much, Miss Gabby. Appreciate that raid. I've heard that one so many times. I'm gonna come and like... I'm gonna outfly you, TheDarkLaw. Yeah, okay. Alright. I've heard it like a gazillion times now. Please, somebody just prove it to me, alright? Don't just say it. Don't flap the gums. Prove. Volkswagen Pro. Oh, nice, nice. One day, okay. Alright. One day. Well, we're today, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, I have changed up my peripheral movements wildly in Star Citizen right now. Actually, am I coming to a halt? Yeah, I am. So, the changes that we've done today are, we have massively, I normally fly a 1-to-1 pilot, where I have saturations and curves at 1. Today we are moving into saturation 0.5, which means that if people don't understand, the saturation is when you move your joystick, like with 1-to-1, it's whatever you move your peripheral as, it is doing the physical and the virtual movement 1-to-1. That's when it's all the way to the right. If it's all the way to the left, it's doing 2 times your movement. So we're doing 1 extra movement. So when we move the physical joystick, the virtual is doing an extra 1 on top. So imagine this is virtual, this is physical. So when I move the joystick at 0, they're like that. But when I move it to the left, on physical, the virtual is sitting about here, which makes this very, very difficult for me to fly because I'm flying away from 1-to-1 to basically where the virtual is doing 2 times the movement. And we've done this with the roll as well, but we're leaving the pitch and the pedals where they are just now. And the idea with this is I want to get into the habit of not moving my joysticks as much and making it more like a realistic jet fighter. For me, for low flying and for PvP, where if you see the bottom joystick monitors, I'm barely moving the joysticks because it's doing double my physical movement in the game. So right now we're trying to dial it down where basically because I'm so used to like doing this with my left stick to control it, I'm now having to do the same movement with half the movement, if you know what I mean. I have to try and learn to do half the movement because the virtual is doing double, if that makes any sense to people. Franja, thank you very much for the follow, Chief, as well. Winters as well, appreciate that, guys. Get more precision out of it, yeah. Plus, I turned 40 this year, and I don't really want to have damaged hands, you know? I really like my hands. They're very, very good. So, again, just trying to get down to more precise movement. Now, I'm leaving 1-to-1 on my pedals. Now, the reason for this is I use pedals from MFG. They're called Crosswinds. And unlike Virpil, Thrustmaster, and VKB, they actually have the ability to add a hydraulic dampener to them, which means that I have a physical hydraulic on my pedals forcing my feet to not move. So I have very, very precise movement with my pedals because I'm not pushing against a virtual software, I'm pushing against a fucking hydraulic damp. So it is literally like a piston that can't move very fast, so it gives me that sort of realistic movement. Now, I haven't adjusted my pitch because I don't want to smash into the ground. I do need some of my old precision back, because as we train in this method, I need to be able to at least recover, because if I keep crashing, I'm not going to learn in this game. So, whilst we adjust our heights and our speeds, and we build up new muscle memory, I still have my old muscle memory to quickly just pull back to get the pitch up if need be. Eventually down the line, I do want to get the pitch and the yaw onto the virtual saturation of 0.5. But we're not just doing the typical, I'm changing all my peripherals, all my controls, and just smashing off the ground, not learning anything. I want to dial in a few settings, and then I'll change the next settings, which would be for the yaw and the pitch. So right now we've got the roll to make it snappier, and our strafes to get round corners and push our speeds are a lot more vibrant right now until I build the muscle memory in the actual hand on the left. So I still got plenty of control on my right stick, but obviously I can now spin a lot faster by rotating the x-axis, because my way of flying is not like most people in Star Citizen. My pedals do my yaw, my roll is on my X. I fly very, very much like a jet fighter, not a spaceship, because eventually down the line they're bringing in control surfaces for atmosphere, and I would like to actually just dial in my settings to be like that kind of thing. Does anybody want to see night vision mode? This is my night vision mode, by the way, chat. Look at that. It's beautiful, isn't it? I also have sunglasses mode if it gets too bright, but we are kind of like shifting around quite a bit. It might be time to go to Prashad, which is going to be a real test for me, because Prashad, where are we are in the west? Where are we at? Wish the compass was a little bit northwest. Maybe I've just drifted quite far in the wrong direction. Yeah, we'll push this back away. It's fine just now. Is that roll going to fuck you up in precision and PvP? Through? Yes, it is. But again, the benefit is once I dial that setting in, or when I get the muscle memory, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of these things where for now I'm going to be massively thrown off with my aim. But the more I do it, the more I get used to it. It means I don't have to move the joystick so radically, and I'll be able to actually just be a lot more precise in the future. So it's always when you change your peripherals, you change your hardware, software, anything like that, you change your settings, you can't just go, oh, this doesn't work for me, I'm going back to it. You literally need to spend 6 months. So it's kind of like, I'll get into it now, and we'll see how fast we can dial in. But the idea is to not go back. Even if it's like, oh, this feels really bad, because a lot of people make the mistake where they start playing around with their settings, and they only give themselves like 30 minutes to go, no, I don't like this. You need to give yourself 2 weeks minimum to even go, yeah, this is not going to work out for me, and then 6 months to dial it in. Muscle memory just doesn't change instantly. It requires hours and hours and hours of work to get that fine movement again. So it's just pretty much got to dive in at the deep end, dude. I can't make it any easier. I mean, I could start going, you know, 0.75 and then in another 2 weeks drop it again a bit. But what's the point? I'll just literally start smashing my arm off until it hurts. So once we dial in the ability to low fly and atmosphere fly, I'll go and smash off in Arena Commander as well and dial it in. By then, Free 18 will be out, and all the new flight changes that they're wanting to test out might be in on Free 18 as well, which means that, to be honest, that's a perfect time for me to relearn as well, because everyone else will be relearning. If they actually slow us down and they make backstrafe less potent, they stop the tricordine from wiggling your pip, which has a massive effect right now. You know, all these things can throw off even as a highly skilled pilot, where they have to relearn some settings or change some settings and stuff. So I'm only doing this not because of the game, because I don't want to be like, if I move my joystick all the way, I don't like, I just want to be able to do this small. See what I mean? I'm barely moving my joystick on the X-axis right now, and this thing's spinning around like crazy. I would have had to do all the way previously, and that's just a lot of extension on the arm that I just don't need. I want to get down to where I barely actually move my joysticks. If somebody would actually create, like, hydraulic joysticks, I think that would be incredible, but they would be very expensive. Where you're not going off software, you're going off the hardware. Hey, Miss L, how you doing? So it's one of these things where we just need... I mean, again, you can see that I've got a lot of speed, a lot of height. We're cruising at 600 plus meters a second, off the deck. You know, I'm not really in any danger just now because I'm just sort of feeling it out, seeing how it goes. And we'll move to Prashad for more technical flying in a bit. But this is like the perfect place for me to just like... feel the upstrafe. The upstrafe is probably the one. Roll and upstrafe are the biggest ones. Left and right, meh, it doesn't really make that difference. To me, it's more the upstrafe, the roll to keep it nice and smooth. And I don't want to use like joystick gremlin to make 2 different peripherals. I just want to learn or master one set of axes, basically. But anyway, guys, how did you enjoy Miss Gabby's stream? What were you up to? You doing a bit of Jump Town? We're gonna move to Jump Town in a bit, but obviously I didn't want to go like a completely unflyable pilot. Plus, I don't really like Lyria for the speed that everyone flies at in PvP, so I would rather wait till it resets to yellow, which I think will be in the next like couple of hours or something. I don't really know the schedules too much, because whilst the game is quite quiet in certain areas, this is where I want to just sort of play with a few settings. This is so smooth because I'm barely having to move my hand, like. We're getting a nice action of falling around the horizon. So basically what we're doing is we're aiming with our TVI and moving the TVI around the edges of the landscape. This is really, really good for low flying because what it does is it teaches you that you can actually move around at certain heights. And again, we'll start practicing more on going on the right. So again, horizontal or horizon, we'll follow it here. Along the rock line, we'll pitch a bit, rotate through, but we're keeping that lovely speed, 260, 270, invert over, and then back down on the line. This way we can keep our speeds. We're trying to yaw as little as possible because if anybody knows about Star Citizen flight, In atmosphere, the moment that you're pushing over 400 meters a second, you move into a secondary kind of flight model, which really does not like yawing. It's called flight lag in real life. And what you want to do is yaw less and roll and pitch more. And obviously we don't have the ability to create uplift. That's why our upstrafes are really powerful right now. Hopefully they'll get toned down because, again, it's kind of crazy how you can just like up that strafe, massively cause drift, or sorry, drag, and then rotate out and push the speeds again. We're not in the best of areas because this is really bad white rocks. We should be near Shubin, or maybe actually if we head this way we'll catch out of this end. It's almost ready for Prashad. However, the good news is we've been flying around, we're nearly at half tank on the arrow and I've yet to bang into anything. So I'm happy with that to begin with. It means that I can at least fly in atmosphere, at speed, at dangerous heights, and not crash. It will only be when I do my stupid shit will we ever be in danger of risking the ship. Unless obviously we randomly explode off the white rocks, but that's a different mechanic altogether. Yeah, that upstrafe is just so hypersensitive, man. See, that might be the one that we put to 0.75 because I upstrafe on my twist on my left. I've done it for years. There's no way I can change it around now. It's just hard built in, and it is super sensitive. I think if anything, that would be... Let's just quickly have a wee look at it. Just to see. So it would be the Z-axis. 7.5. Yeah, so even that's really sensitive, but it's not as wiggly. Hey Raptor. Hope the stream is going well. Doing very well, thank you, Chief. Yeah, we're just chilling out. I'm talking whilst I'm trying out some setting changes and stuff. This is so chill to watch. Just wait till we move to Prashad, and if you have bad anxiety, it's gonna kick in hard. It's chill right now. It's chill right now because I'm just trying to see how settings go. Still don't need that. We can maybe darken it down though. Sunglasses mode. So good. I've recently started using Reshade. I did this, I installed it to just show people like CIG could easily make a night vision system in the game if you could do it in Reshade, and it's turned into where now I'm starting to play. So this is what the game looks like without Reshade. This looks like it with Reshade. It just makes it so much sharper and more movie-like for me. So unfortunately I think I've got the Reshade bug. I didn't want it, but it's grasped me. It's like drugs, you know. Once you look at good visuals in the right tones, or at least I feel it looks like the right tones, it's very difficult to go back. Alright, let's test out on this then. Yeah, I think 7.5 on the upstrafe, because I use a twist, I think 50 is too snappy. Because your twist in your hand is actually very aggressive. Compared to, like, if you're moving your hand forward and backwards with your arm. This is a very aggressive movement, which doesn't have actually that many muscles compared to, like, pivoting your hand like this. This is really aggressive, so I don't think having it at 50 is a smart thing for me to do. Everything else, fine, at saturation 50. Alright. Pressure time it is. Let's go there. So I've been practicing low altitude flight on and off. The track inspired by you, by the way. What track? Are you talking about the what track are you talking about? Are you talking about the racing track, dude? Let's go to Prashad. And man, it is the most fun I've had in SE. I'm getting better. Oh, the snake pit. Right. Yeah. But still nowhere near the speed of altitude. Yeah, I've been doing it for years though. So like, it's practically what I do. Because here's the funny thing. I started off low flying because in this game I don't actually want to be like a Top Gun combat pilot. For me, it was doing dropship stuff. And because obviously the future of the game holds like radar changes and stealthing and stuff like that, I wanted to be so fast at being a dropship pilot for Atmosphere that this was a great way to learn it. And it just got into the habit of where it's like really good for stunt flying and all these other things as well. So yeah, just keep practicing it. It takes a long time, but it's mainly just building up the muscle memory. And the main secret is, don't go low. I know that sounds stupid for low flying, but every time you crash within 1 minute to 5 minutes, you're not learning anything. You have to go and learn about control before you do speed and height. And this is the biggest thing that most low flyers don't educate people on, is it's not about your speed, it's not about your height, it's about the control of you and your ship. And there's very easy mechanics to actually learn this, which is just basically locking down your speed, going very slow, and flying like 50 feet in the air until you learn how it feels to move ships through and stuff. I want to get better at low atmosphere flying. Most I've seen suck at it. Right, so I mean, everyone's different. There's different methods of flying. But it all boils down to, you know, what you can and can't do with the ship. You also have to learn about different flights. So if we take for Daymar, for example, I'm going to show you the prime example that I like to educate people on flight lag. So right now we're locking our speeds down, we got cruise control on, and we're going to go down to under 200 meters a second, because that's the SAM speed of an arrow on Daymar. Now we're going to yaw. So I'm not using my joysticks, as you can see in the wee camera. I'm just using my pedals to yaw around, and we're using cruise control. But you can see how every time we yaw, we lose speed, right? You naturally lose speed when you yaw. This is called flight lag, and it causes drag in atmosphere. Now, when you boost or go out of SEM speed into the red, you will notice that I can't yaw as much as I could do. So every time I'm yawing now, you can see it snapping back, and this is where flight lag gets way more potent, and where the faster you go in this game, the harder it is to fly. And this is where when you get to certain speeds, you don't want to actually yaw like this, and you see a lot of content creators just yawing left and right and strafing up and down. It's fucking skillless, as far as I'm concerned. It literally is skillless. Anyone can do that. The idea is learning when to use the rolls and the pitches over these mechanics is really vital for low flying and for flight in general for the future. Because if CIG actually add in control surfaces and aerodynamics, you do not want to be doing weird stuff with your yaw. You're actually going to slow yourself down massively. And that is not good for anyone who actually wants to do any piloting in atmosphere whatsoever. Let's dive down to, where was it here? There we go. This is where I want to be. Down here. Hey, Penny Laugh. When you are on about the hydraulic force feedback, it pretty sure is a company. Microsoft and Sony got sued by them for putting a rumble. No, it's not a feedback. It's a hydraulic dampener. Wait. When you were on about hydraulic, right. I'm pretty sure it's a company hoarding the. Oh, so that's why they can't do it. Nah. Well, they could put a hydraulic dampener on their movement. Nobody would stop you from being able to do that. Just not add in feedback, you know, vibrations and stuff like that. Hey, Texan, welcome in, Chief. I've noticed the yaw lag seems to be more intense this patch. Maybe it just... again, once you get used or tuned to atmosphere flying, you notice it. So, what we're going to do now is, now that I've shown you what the difference is when we lock it down, let's lock our speed down to 200. However, this is where I suggest for people to have buttons that lower it down, and we're going to go to the lowest that an arrow can go, which is roughly about 9 meters a second. I'm going to engage cruise control. You can see there, it's now moving at 8 meters a second forward. I'm going to just slow the music down. But what we're going to do now is just slightly raise it up till cruise control brings us to 50. Okay? And if anybody's ever wanting to learn the basics of low flying and getting into the habit of things a lot faster, 50 meters a second. Now what you're going to do is learn decouple, because the in atmosphere decouple is so much better than couple, purely because it smoothens off your TVI. And what we're going to do is, as we push forward, we can only go 50. If we push left, we can only go 50. If we push right, up, down, anything, we can only do 50 meters a second. And what I want you to do is learn to bounce the TVI. You see how the TVI is bouncing at the front? You see it? Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. This is your heading indicator, okay? This is going to tell you where your ship is going to be before it actually gets to that location, and you can see by side strafe when we're moving around. So as we're flying, and say you find some nice canyons like this, see the height that I'm doing at, right? You don't need to go wild, you don't need to go furious, you don't need to go down the ground, you don't need to put your nose down and fly like a fucking helicopter. Just fly horizontal, 0, and use your up strafe to navigate. So just use your strafe. See how I'm not using my right? And we are just learning to navigate using the TVI and the upstrafes. And you can see that we're not going fast, we're not going really low to the ground, we're not banging off anything. Because again, every time you die, you're just not learning shit. The best thing to do is actually to learn whilst you're doing things and not be in a dangerous scenario where you just randomly explode. Or fly with people who have been doing it for years. Now we're going to incorporate roll and pitch, because again, we want to get round our corners faster. We're only pushing forward and we're using upstrafe. Roll and pitch to drag you round. But as you pitch, incorporate some upstrafe to turn you faster. And again, we're at a height where you're learning to fly and not smash into things, and we're also learning at a speed to control the ship. Feel how it moves. See how your TVI moves. See if you can get the crosshair to move with the TVI, right? Try and chase that TVI with your crosshair, and that would be using whatever peripheral you have for your yaw, your pitch, and your roll, okay? Incorporate what it's like to go upside down. Again, we're only moving at 50 meters a second. We're nowhere near going to smash into the ground unless you're hyperactive. Now, if you're hyperactive, you need to dial in your settings and your actual movement and your controls to be way more smoother, or you will never be able to do low flying, because it's about being very, very precise with movement. Then we can incorporate here. Joystick, strafing left and right. Now, I'm going to put couple mode on, I'm going to put head tracking on. I'm going to show you something if you don't have head tracking. If you're on my Discord, ! Discord, there's an area called SC-TEL. Right at the bottom of Discord, go there, it has some images. I'm going to now turn on something I've set up for people, which is using look ahead enable. I have some settings here, the image is there. We're going to activate it, and you can see here that I'm not moving my head. I can't move my head. Now watch when I yaw. Again, my head's doing nothing. My eyes are doing nothing. See what's happening? It's in-game head tracking that doesn't cost you a penny and you don't need any hardware to do it. And all it's going to do is extend your peripheral view left and right, up and down, so you can actually see where you're going without any of this stuff, right? How cool is that? Again, my head's doing nothing, but see how the vision is extended, extended the vision to the right. As we move to the right, we can see more of the right. As we move to the left, it's not my head doing it, because if it was my head doing it, it would be like this, right? I have fine control over it, but if you don't have head tracking, this setting literally allows you to fly with like you have head tracking, to extend the view of the cockpit like you're naturally doing. What setting is that? Go to my Discord, right at the bottom, and it's using the in-game thing called look ahead. Now you can make a toggle button for it, but I have settings here that literally design it around just for navigation, not for combat. You want to make sure that you disable it for like turrets and driving, and you know, you can do all these things, you know, disable it here, all that jazz, and other things like that, right? Because for combat it's a little bit off, but for piloting, for just navigating around, these settings literally give you the ability to not have head tracking, and it will see how it's extending to the left as we move left. When we move forward, it centers off the camera again. When, say I go decouple and I pitch the nose down, look at it looking up, naturally looking up. When I pitch up, it's starting to now look down because it's wanting to give you more view of your lower self as you go around. And it follows the horizon, so when we start rotating like this, see how it's now doing it by itself? And we're going to strafe backwards, look at it massively throw up, so that you can see where you're going. How cool is that? So you don't need head tracking. You do if you want to get very precise with it, but if you're just wanting head tracking for navigating, this setting literally kicks the shit out of not having it. Because again, I am not moving my head around, see? But in game it is. Which means that when we're moving faster, so say for example I start banking now, see how it's now looking into that sort of like left corner, it's more watching where the TVI is going, okay? So from slow mode, it now changes where it's chasing after the TVI. It wants to give you the best visual to actually see where you're heading and watching that TVI. So when we slow down and we spin it, see look? It's not my head doing that, it's in-game shit. See? Not me. I'm moving my head around, it's not doing anything. It's just a little feature that allows you to basically navigate without having to have head tracking on. Massive advantage. But it's only for movement. This setting is only about movement. It does not help you in combat or anything like that. I would always suggest that you just get yourself some head tracking. Disable it here. And you see that now it's not doing it. I now activate my own head tracking because I would like to actually look in the direction I want to go. But if you're just trying to learn to navigate flight, it's the best way to get into the game without it. So anyway, let's go back to what we were discussing within flight, where we're down to 50 meters a second and we're navigating. Now, once you've done this for a few minutes and you're in decouple, tricouple, decouple, anything that you want to do, you've got to this safe point. What we want to do is then extend the speed up by another 50. So let's move it to 100, just slightly above, and now it's going to start feeling a little bit different. So as you do this again, we're going to go through the same motions of just rotating around, flying at a decent height, but now you're getting, because it's starting to move faster for you, we're having to learn that, you know, you want to maybe slow down, angle and stuff like that, depending on it. And this is again going to help you, and you do this for a few hours or however fast it takes you to adapt to it. Everyone is completely different. And then extend the speed, extend the speed, extend the speed, but do the same shit where you learn to fly with the TVI, moving your ship around, maybe doing some fancier stuff, rolls and pitches, but don't, because I'm sick and tired of seeing people, stop trying to go down to this height and do it this way, because you're just smashing off the ground and you're not learning anything. Stay at a reasonable height and just find a location that has the ability to navigate. Don't go crazy. Stop going fast. Stop going low. Learn control. A simple navigation here where basically we're slowing down, we're moving, we're angling, we're doing a 180 without having to go absolutely crazy. We've learned the speed to control it. And then again, extend the speed. Maybe from 100 go to 200 depending on how comfortable you feel. Don't go any lower. Just start learning to navigate through things and hold that height. Keep going around, keep doing this to everything. And the beautiful thing about this is that you're not dying. You're not dying and spending 10 minutes to get back to your group and stuff like that. You're literally learning to control the ship, learn its angles without ever going near the danger of smashing off the ground. And once you've learned control and you've learned speed, and this will help you in PvP as well, to master speed of a ship, take the clamp off. Start going 300 meters a second. And then understand that the moment that you go over 300 meters a second, yawing is going out the window. So as we go faster and faster and faster, we want to incorporate roll and pitch and upstrafe to go around corners. Because the moment that we incorporate lag, see, look at, it's bottling the speed out. And we don't want that. We literally want to pitch forward, pitch, and roll. And that's it. And this will help people out massively in low flying, because again, a lot of the time all I see is people going stupidly low, stupidly fast. You smash off the ground within 30 seconds, you go, wow, that was amazing. But you've learnt nothing. And when you see, again, there are a lot of people doing this for whatever reason, but you see a lot of low flyers going like this right now. This is all they're doing just now. So let me lock my speed down to like natural SEM speed, and they're doing this shit, right? This is it. All they're doing is that. They're yawing and they're strafing up. Now, as far as I'm concerned, this is not flying. This is just literally you are fucking driving a car that just goes around terrain. You know what I mean? They're doing this shit. That's all they're doing. They're like, oh yeah, this is really good. You are not learning flight. If you are not getting your ship up into angles like this, you're not learning anything about how the ship will navigate in atmosphere. Because again, the moment that control surfaces come in, you will have to incorporate more rolls and pitches to create lift. This does not create lift. So yeah. That is basically it's why I don't do any videos or anything on that in low flying, because it's just like, again, learn control. It's the same when you go to learn to drive a car. When you go to learn to drive a car or a motorbike, they don't go, alright guys, I want you to go as fast as fuck around this corner you've never driven before. This will teach you how to drive. No. They teach you to navigate round cones slowly. Learn that control. Learn the size of your vehicle. Stuff like that. Incorporate the same shit in Star Citizen. Can I get the code for Toby? It's TDL Texan. All the little images are down below, but anytime I've got like a discount, it will always be capital TDL. I keep it all to the same. And that's basically my flight school. After that, it's down to you guys. I can't teach you anything more than that. Once you have the basics of understanding, I can literally have it where you fly behind me, because... Hey, thank you very much, Cider, for the 2 months. I appreciate that, dude. Vibes in chat, please. Oh, 7 red ties. Thank you, dude. Appreciate you. The way of like learning to fly as a group is obviously going slower is better, but here's the other kicker. If you're going to learn to group low fly, you also want to have your lead pilot able to lead and able to not die in a fire. And that's the best way to adapt on your skills. Because yesterday when we were showing stuff off, we had Puppeteer chasing after me, right? And Puppeteer was able to keep up with me and fly with me because obviously your lead is doing all the work. You're just having to follow behind and keep at a distance, and obviously there is a skill involved in that. But then the moment that I made him lead, he crashes into the ground 30 seconds later. Because he's having to think about not only his flight, but group flying and all that stuff. So if you're going to do group flying, get somebody that can actually do it and take you around for 30 minutes without ever, like, them exploding and stuff like that. And then it's down to you how you fly. Hey, Negus, how you doing, Chief? Low flying is easy. Try riding a Nox and not crash. Yeah, those things definitely need a little bit of work done to them, you know. But still, the Gravlev is so much better than it used to be. And then, of course, like when you guys start getting better, incorporate the fast like movements. So, say you take your training wheels off, bring your height up, because this is really important for people to learn, and go as fast as you can in a straight line. Incorporate a 45 degree or a 90 degree, sorry, and literally start pulling back on the pitch. Don't yaw, and watch your G's. There we are. We're pushing the 7 G's now. We're doing 500 meters a second. If I pull back on the pitch more, we're up to 8 G's. We're going to start blacking out. We'll ride that blackout. And again, what you want to do at this stage is either counter roll and strafe in the other way, or pitch up in the other way to quickly bring you out of the G-lock. Or when you're going around tight corners, instead of up strafing, down strafe a little bit and roll out to clear it. Rolling and strafing in the opposite direction clear out G's just now. Personally, I think it needs to be a different mechanic, like being able to actually do the hick maneuver. But try and get yourselves into the situation. And this is why I always recommend Daymar for people to learn to low fly, because going basic Grim Hex and it's just one jump to Daymar and you're back with a medical bay, you know? Super, super easy. And if you don't like people fighting at you, just literally leave the hangar at full speed, decouple and warp away. Or just pre-plan. Don't leave without shields fully up and stuff like that, you know? Lots of things you can do. Alright, we need to navigate back to where I want to be. And unfortunately, this is the best way. Oh, it's literally 180 behind us. Alright. We are going to do some pushing now. So that's the tutorial side of things. Let's get a pushing song and see how this goes, right? So this is still with my new settings, okay? If you have anxiety, hold on to your butt. We'll see how long this lasts before I crash. We're at 700 meters a second right now. But we will massively drop our speeds down, decouple, engage, head tracking on. Feel those controls. It's not going to be as smooth as normal, but that's because, again, new controls to play with. It's definitely the roll that might be too sensitive as well. Once we level off here and we'll get our fuel back, I'm gonna quickly try this out. Oh, this is gonna lick me. 75. Roll might just be a little sensitive for me. Yeah, that feels slightly better. Oversteer there, slightly. Yeah, 75 feels better for me on those two axes, because it's way too sensitive in Star Citizen. That definitely feels a lot better. I think what I will try though. Oh yeah, sorry. Boop. Hold on. Let's go with. Yeah. Let's try this. This man's flying. Thank you, I appreciate that. Let's do, what should we do? This is a good one for this kind of thing. Alright, let's try with 75. See if I don't overstrafe, because I am overstrafing left and right way too much. And I don't want that. I want to just see what 75 is compared to 50. Or 0.5, I should say. Yeah, that's feeling nice. That's feeling good. Not too snappy. Catch that flight lag. Ooh, a bit too low. Too low on that. But definitely 75 over 50 for some of these movements. So that's just the precision that we're off right now. We'll get that back within a few days. But yeah, too low. You can see there, way too low, the tail fins kicking out. And that will be where these sort of like harder movements will take me feckin' ages. Like at least a good couple of weeks to sort of dial those movements in. The normal traversing, no problem. We can dial that in pretty fast within today. But anything technical, moving into like the backflips and all that jazz, that's gonna take a wee while for building up muscle memory. We ain't doing anything low or fancy today, that's for sure. Also, why are we bouncing off this? But I think I'll roll with 75. I'll need to try it out later in like Arena Commander and stuff to see what the aim is like. But yeah. That feels so much better. Now I'm not sure with this is a rotation thing. I don't really think I need this at 75. I might as well put it at 75 just to see. I'm actually interested. This time we're gonna try this, right? I'm interested to try this. That will be the pedals. Now these are the thumb things. The X rotation. I don't know if this actually does anything for Star Citizen. Again, this is like if you've got a Virpal Alpha, you can see it here. This one there, sorry, just above my head. That is what the the X rotations are. I really don't think saturation is going to actually affect that in the game. Yeah, I'm actually pretty sure the best thing to do is just that. And that. Yeah. Yeah, right. We'll save that then. Let's roll with this for a sesh and see how it goes. I will have to go into the settings and change a few things and stuff. So we know that our high-speed corkscrewing, or sorry, barrel rolling backflips are not going to be very good right now. So we'll note that down, we'll work on that. Everything else is fine, maybe over-rolling slightly. A few times we over-rolled, which is to be expected when changing a rolling setting. Definitely dropping from 0.5 to 25 or 75 has stopped the over-strafing left and right slightly, and the up and down feels a lot better. So again, we want to have some saturation, but I don't want to make it where it just feels like I'm not in control. And I know, obviously, as I previously said, you're gonna have to spend a few months, weeks, hours, depending on the person, to like get used to it. It just feels uncontrollably fast movement. Did I put a flight suit on? No, I didn't. No. No. Get out. I have to have a flight suit. Yeah, make sure, guys, exclamation mark hold fast for homie. If you are unaware, we have a giveaway running right now for an LTI Talon with skin package, game package, all that stuff. It's not for me. It's basically I'm using my channel to extend the range when we're helping out another content creator who is being fundraised for some money, for not for peripherals but for anything like that. I dropped a wee 50 banger today. Appreciate. I guess that's Blasty. Thank you for the 20, dude. Nicholas as well for the 10. We're trying to get to at least 3,500 on my end before, obviously, they do have another giveaway going to be coming up for 4K. But the giveaway I'm giving away, guys, is literally if you go to here, you don't need to follow me, you don't need to view my channel or anything like that. Yes, I'm a human. Alright. Just go here and do all that jazz, you know. All here. All you have to do is follow, hold fast, and if you want to do anything extra, it's like 4 hours left, guys. Get involved. Awesome stuff. Just support it. It'll take you to the fundraiser. You get an extra merit if you just go there, or an extra entry. If you have Twitter, obviously, unfortunately, it has to go through my Twitter for retweeting it, but it's just literally to retweet the post and let people know about the giveaway. And again, it's just because I said to people, it was roughly on like $2,000 or something, and I said, right, get to 3K and I'll do a giveaway on the channel. And people have been very kind. There's Zero State. A lot of people have been very, very generous. And again, as it marks down here, it's not for peripherals and joysticks and keyboards and other things like that. It's literally to help a family eat, you know. And all the information is there for you to make an adult decision on what you would like to do. But yeah, massively appreciate anyone who gets involved in this, guys. Thank you so much. And again, why not for a fucking LTI Talon, right? Upgrade that bad boy. Melt some of your ships if you so wish, you know? It's got a game pack, it's got everything on it. Nice little Harmony skin, which is really, really nice, actually. Also, thank you for everyone who's on Discord coming in. Again, guys, I don't have many things on Discord like other channels. Generally, I just use Discord as just announcements and other things like that. We only have one talking channel. Just feel free to post anything in community if you so wish. Again, I'm very open with people on this. I'm not going to make a Discord like other people with millions of channels that nobody uses. You got one channel, just make threads. If you want to talk about things and stuff like that, you know? Post your animal pictures, whatever. It's just all in one area. Community. That's all it needs to be as far as I'm concerned. And the search feature on Discord is actually pretty baller. Fortunately, we don't have our lovely green skin from guide work. I guess this is still on. Still on Art Corp. Ugh. Oh, there's a couple of apprehends. Don't really have that luxury right now, though. Proshat, there we go. So yeah, I think I'm gonna keep it at 0.75 and then just work on that. If after it feels nice for low flying doing that, I'm gonna do some PvP later tonight with the guys in free flight and just see what they say. Obviously my aim is gonna be absolute trash, but it'll give me an idea if it looks good enough to work on with. Because once somebody says, yeah, you know, that actually looks not bad, then it's just a matter of weeks and weeks and weeks of training to dial everything in. But luckily we have that time until 318. And if CIG actually do any of their flight changes for 318, slowing down things, stuff like that. Hey Glitch, how you doing, Chief? I'll be impressed actually, because I'm not banking on anything actually being added in. Because patch notes these days are actually a bit encryptive if you actually look on it. Like, they tell you, alright, there's some of these things, but CIG never tell us what they actually change in flight and stuff like that, you know? And that's one thing that does annoy me. Like, if you actually look at patch notes for CIG, with this kind of thing, right? They never actually say, this is what we've changed to a ship. You know what I mean? Like, they'll give a descriptive idea of what they've done, but they never actually tell you, right, it goes... You know, in some other games where it's like, alright, we've got this damaging weapon that does 1000 DPS, but it's getting nerfed to 900 damage. You'll see where they say, like, 1000, and it goes with, like, the arrow to 900, or reverse to 900, and stuff like that, you know? Oh dear. Free new replies. People are getting involved in this one. This is so sad that I can't monitor this without getting up. Mod involved. People, chat, people. So for 5 years, if anybody doesn't know, I run, it's the only thread that I really get involved in on Spectrum. I run this thread where it helps people looking for an organization. It's been up since 2017. This is the only player, like, backer thread that is pinned by CIG. And we try and monitor this a lot, where it helps people like this person. This person gets the thumb up because they're doing it right. They're looking for an organization, you would DM this person. But this person here has replied 3 times promoting their organization. So they get a downvote and hopefully a moderator will delete it. But obviously, again with Horace and Echelon, I appreciate these guys posting, but you're also breaking the rules on this one as well, guys. Alright? You don't need to post an extra thing, you know? Just report it to a moderator and see if they actually get involved, you know? Try and keep it as clear as you can, guys. I would massively appreciate it, because I don't really want to spend every day contacting a mod to delete posts. So these 2 people should also delete theirs, because I've done my part, which is I'm already marking this person, and the moment that they delete this, I'll delete mine. And we keep this thread really nicely clean, where it only shows you. However, CIG's method is where it still shows the deleted stuff, which is kind of like meh. But yeah. Again, if you're looking for an organization, just go through all the rules of it. I make it very, very clear where you're looking for it, no longer looking for an organization. You know, just go through it with it. Lots of things to help you out. I also have like some links here, extra helpful links, old forums and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, don't spam it up with extra stuff. I'm impressed with the amount of practice it takes for these sim games. I spent hours on helicopters. Nice. Yeah, helicopters is awesome to fly. It's not really a sim, no. It's not really a sim. It is and it isn't. It's more just they're trying to do an MMO, like, if you think about it, like your ship is kind of like your class. That's how it feels like to me, you know what I mean? Because if it was a simulator, there would be no trying to balance. It would just be realistic kind of stuff, you know? Well, decoys and noise kind of take care of that. Well, the funny thing is, like, we're trying to promote to get the missiles to be better in this game, because if you guys don't know, noise doesn't work right now. When I'm in combat versing people, noise does not work right now in the game. It hasn't worked for over 6 months. And you see people doing this, right? They'll pop that. That does nothing, by the way. Absolutely nothing in the game right now. Nothing. Will not prevent a missile from smacking you, just an FYI. The only way to get missiles off certain missiles is to dump more countermeasures. What do you think of the new beacon missions? 285k for completing just one high alert with 2 hammerheads and 3 star. Really? What? Where's that under? Where'd you get it? Did you get it here? No. Where'd you get that portable? Holy shit, I didn't even know that. Where's that money? You need to complete low star rating first? What's low star? Or what? You need to complete a low star rating. Where do I find that? It's in the beacons, right? So do I have to do a player beacon? They're tuning their payouts though. It was way too much. Ah, right. Okay. All right. You fight almost all the time 1 versus 3 or 4, and they do is run and spam missiles against one person. I fire missiles back, Church. You know what I mean? I don't care about people firing missiles. The problem is the missile mechanic is too easy. That's the biggest issue. Like, dealing with somebody constantly firing missiles is not the biggest issue. It's the fact that somebody just looks at you and can blow a missile at you. It needs to be where, like following a pip, you need to get a proper tone and stuff like that. No. EM missiles are not too easy, guys. It's because the game is broken. Alright? So, time for some more education on the channel. So, EM missiles versus fighters. All you have to do is dump 3 flares for an EM missile, okay? Unless it's a torpedo, that requires more things. The higher we go up in the size, the more flares that have to be fired out. So size 1 to 2 is only 3 flares if you're in an arrow and a gladius for an EM missile, okay? And what you want to do is kind of just wait until everyone fires a lot of missiles at you and just drop 3 flares and that counters it completely. Size 7 torpedo from a ballista is between 7 to 10 flares that have to be dumped instantly, or it doesn't work. And you can't just go free. It has to be 7 instantly, or it does not work. Okay? Strike has size 3s, and 3 flares are good enough. Yeah, it depends on certain things. So, countermeasures just requires you actually to have knowledge of the game, right? But EM should be affected by noise. But noise doesn't work in the game, Astral. But noise also, decoys and noise are counters for everything, cross-section, everything, because CIG have not built an actual missile system yet. It's just a placeholder. So EM missiles are very, very easy to actually dodge and get around. Now, here's the kicker. If you are in a size 2 ship, so Defender, Cutlass, Scorpius, Hurricane, this is what you might not know, is you actually have the countermeasure system from a fucking Gladius. So when you're firing out Gladius flares, you have such a huge EM signature that it doesn't work. This is just a bug in the game where CIG need to change the countermeasure systems from medium-sized ships, size 2. And that's why Cutlasses get hit hard, Scorpius get hit hard, Hurricanes get hit hard, Defenders get hit hard, because you've got that giant EM signature, but your flares are designed to get rid of something 6 to 9k. When you're sitting at 30k fucking EM, you're like Father Christmas flying through the sky with all the lights of the world shining at the motherfucker. And somebody's got a nice Stinger launcher and going, haha, fuck you. And you can't evade that shit. That's what it's like to be in a size 2 ship right now. It's just a bug. That's it. Yeah, exactly. Well, I call it a bug because, to be honest, and here's the way they could get around it, Dell, is they could just literally take the counter measure that you have, like, so when you're in a Cutlass and you got 48, give them 100. So instead of dumping 3 flares at a time, they're able to dump 10 flares at a time, and it would break off the flare lock, right? So I count it as a bug because CIG could literally change a number to make it easier for themselves until they build, like you say, design the whole thing out. Yeah, it's not a feature. And then people complain missiles is broken. So here's the balancing thing. Missiles, in my opinion, needs to actually be a set of weapons. Or like a useful weapon. It should not be just where you spam it out. That's not fun gameplay. And it shouldn't just be where you counter it out. That's not good play. What we need is basically like when you're aiming on a pip, on a crosshair, is you actually have to get your crosshair on the pip and create the lock. Not just be like, oh look, I can see somebody over there creating a lock and stuff like that. You have to be able to move a pip onto a pip to get a tone, not just lock somebody and put this giant circle around the person and it automatically does that. That would solve a lot of missile spamming issues, because as people are moving around, you wouldn't be able to get that circle down. So with the big circle, all CIG have to do is make it down to a small circle. So if we look at this circle here, is probably like what a missile lock is. Actually, we're not going to be able to see it, but if you see here, this is with gimbal, right? Now, missile lock is roughly about that circle. If they made it half the size, this takes away a lot of missile spamming, because you're not going to get that thing constantly in view. And if somebody goes, obviously, say we go here, right? Sorry, let me move my hand here. Say, for example, somebody's in the circle and you're getting tone and they just go here. Instant loss of lock. Not red, just lock is gone. Completely reset. This is how it should be. The moment that anyone is out of this outer ring, instant unlock. Not, oh, we've got half a lock and the red has gone out and you get it back in the green and it starts spinning around again. It should be instantly reset the moment somebody is out of the ring of the missile lock. This circle should be smaller, so it's near the crosshair. This will prevent it to be harder. But if you move out of the ring to this area, delocked. That's how you solve missiles completely in this game. It still makes them good. Now what you want to do is make missiles still do big damage, but countermeasure system needs to be a bit more realistic. So in real life, when you're dealing with somebody firing missiles, it's called the pre-flare, where when you go into a combat scenario, you're literally racking up flares and doing this, right? This is how you would be doing it more in real life, but you would be spraying them out. Now, what CIG need to do is they need to make it where one decoy explodes into 50 flares, because that's what it does in real life. It literally has a canister that pops out. So what we need to be doing for missiles is basically coming around, and as you're doing it, that's what it looks like from one flare. So instead of you having to change the number of decoys, so if we look in the bottom right corner here, See how I'm able to roll them up? No. No. It's just one. So you have to then be like where you are, the bigger ships spray out so that you can have them less. And this would be a really good method of doing it. Because again, one flare that goes out is useless. It doesn't do anything really. It sort of stops lock time to a certain degree, but it should be going and spraying out. Because missiles need to be very, very scary, but they also need to have a realistic countermeasure system incorporated into it, you know? I want missiles to be dangerous. They need to be dangerous. They need to be something that's difficult to get lock, and also you need to have knowledge of countering it, you know? And this would bring in a really good element of gameplay. Because it means that new players would maybe over-flare. And they would eventually run out, and that's how they lose. But you should not be going into a fight where somebody's just like, locking 4 missiles, bang, bang, bang. Alright, 4 done, see you like that. Right, let's just lock 4 missiles. Here they go, 1, 2, 3, 4, I've still got lock. There we go. This gameplay is so shit. And it used to be where you could fire like 4 to 8 missiles at once, which was even worse, but this is still very, very boring gameplay. Missiles should be where you're firing 1 missile and you're like, right, I've got tone. Okay, they're flaring, they're flaring, they're flaring. I've still got tone. Because flaring shouldn't lose the lock of the missile. It should be where it distracts the missile. So when you've got tone, they're like, oh, they're pre-flaring, they're pre-flaring. Right. Holding it. Right, the flares are out. I've got him. Oh, he's flaring again. It might hit, it might not. It hit. Fucking dead. Booyah. That's how the gameplay should be. This whole flaring, making the lock thing go crazy is so shit. It should be where it's like a timed event where you're like, right, alright, they're flaring. Ah, right, they're not flaring. I'm gonna go for it now, you know? I thought shooting my miss full was spectacular. It used to be, yeah, but again, you used to be able to fire, what, 120 missiles instantly on a Connie if you did it that way? That's not healthy for the game. It creates lag. But you know what would be helpful is if the missiles were deadly, they had a counter system, but it's also not where you can just lock at ease. This solves missile game completely, but like Del said, it's just sort of like a placeholder right now, you know? The flare system has to be changed. It should not be 1 decoy and 1 is launched. It should spray into 50. So that you have the ability to stay in a fight. And then you have to be like, right, I want to cover the area in flares because I'm just getting 20 missiles are coming from every angle. I need to create this giant field of shit, I'm in danger. But you know, another thing that CIG need to incorporate is, and when somebody does this, this needs to make it where your heat, right? If we look at heat up here, I'll zoom in for you guys to make it easier, above my head here. Watch, this is heat, by the way, in the game. Watch when I afterburner forward. There's no IR. There's no heat. So IR missiles are completely fucking useless. Because when you've got fighters booming and zooming around, and afterburning, and fucking launching out flares, which is just, you know, whatever, when they're doing this, and making giant bubbles of heat, your IR doesn't spike at all. And there's where another mechanic needs to be made into missiles before it's ever good. Exactly, and continuously firing. If you look here, right? Again, zooming in on the emissions, always good to have your numbers. Watch what happens when I fire. Why does it go up with laser fire, but it doesn't go up with ballistic fire? Or engines? The number moves when I fire lasers, but not ballistics. Not when I fire missiles, not when I'm afterburning like a nut job. And this is a tiny spike as well. This does nothing to a missile. This makes... An IR missile doesn't even, you know, remotely want to sniff the ass of that, you know? The numbers are just really, really off right now, and I hope CIG manages to dial it in, you know? It is, yeah, Church. It is. It needs to be where, again, missiles need a massive lock-on skill check. Not difficult, but it needs to be a skill check. Not just target somebody, get within the circle, fire. It needs to be hold the tone. When you flare, it needs to be not just one decoy, it needs to be a spray, because that's what happens in real life when a jet fighter... I mean, we can literally watch this, right? Watch when you see a fucking jet fighter flare, right? Let's do F-22 flare. Let's see if we've got it here. Alright? Let's do this one. Yeah. And this is chaff flares. See? Look at this shit. Look how bright it is compared to our miserable fucking flare system. Look at that. Look at that fucking dump to get a missile off you. Oh yeah, let's just fire a single flare, that's gonna do it. No, let's have it where the fucking real mechanic is in. Make it where one flare ejects canisters out. Big flares. And then obviously we've already got the Hercules, which does the angel wings, you know? Which is fine for bigger ships. There we go. There's the angel wings. Right? Now why does it do on the Hercules but not, say, a Hammerhead? This is where they have to incorporate all these mechanics into other ship. The Hammerhead should also have the angel wings, as far as I'm concerned. Missile count is fine, yeah, definitely. They don't need to change that. Which actually should be muting this, because music. But again, dump, 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 dump. And especially because this is the worst part. CIG see this, right? CIG have looked at this, and they've gone, well, this is fine in Modern Warfare, right? Now, yes, Modern Warfare is fine because it's only like a few ships or, sorry, a few planes in the air at a time and one or two flares going out. But CIG, you're wanting an MMO where there could be 20 fucking missiles coming at one time. You know what I mean? And your one little fucking fireball is not going to do shit. It needs to be a kind of system. Because this would work if it's one versus one or 2 versus 2 or something like that. But if you have like 10 people shooting missiles at one fucking dude, of course this is not going to work. It needs to be more incorporated where when you're jettisoning, a lot more are coming out per one. You know what I mean? Like there's 2 per 1 on this situation. And again here, look at, you can see off the back of the Eagle. Look how bright that is. Because that's distracting like an IR missile basically and stuff like that. This is where, again, I know it's only a placeholder, but just for basically visual guidance, this needs to be Star Citizen's element of ejecting. This one here. Go off this CIG. This should be one flare. Or one decoy, whatever you want to call it in the game. It needs to create a path of light and heat so that missiles don't just keep 118 and spinning around your ship and doing crazy things, you know? Again, it's not difficult to just up the amount that fire out and bring in this way. So we need a good missile system, a good missile tone system. We need missiles to be deadly if you don't counter them, and we need the ability for the idea that 48 little flares is not enough when you've got 5 people spamming 4 missiles at a time going like this. Missile, 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 missile. And you're like, alright, well, I'm out of flares now. Time for me to warp out. I've only been here 10 seconds into the fight. You know? And that's where it's crazy. Oh, it's already been changed. Alright, okay. Well, that's fine. That's good. I mean, 285k for one or a few hammerheads is a bit extreme, you know? Let me just go and restock whilst I'm here. Need to... I know, they change it down, like, I don't know why. Do you guys like my night vision mode? I've been addicted to reshade, where I've got sunglasses mode, normal mode, and now my very fancy cinematic night vision tactical view with color as well. However, bright lights is not a good idea. Oh, there we go. Night vision by DarkLaw. It gets you through. And the cool thing about it is it doesn't really like give too much of an aid for like when people see, when you get down low to the ground, everything just gets really fucking dark, so you can't see players. It only helps you navigate around at night, and that's it. And then bright lights sort of like fuck it up massively. So quite a realistic night vision system. Not too cheaty, since people are like crying about it and stuff these days. There's no way a missile moving at 1400 meters a second is 180. I know. Do you want to see something fucked up, right? Watch this. Do you want to see how fucking broken a ballista is? Let me bring them here. Get ready for this, alright? So, scenario, ballista right there. My wingman is behind the hill, over here, right? Watch the missile of this. Let me fucking slow this right down, because it's so fast. Let me mute it. Watch this. Watch the missiles on a ballista, how they work. So that's me missiling. Does no damage. Watch the ballista fire. Get ready for it? The doozy. It fucking crawls up a mountain and then literally turns round on top of the mountain and hits my wingman. They don't destroy when they bounce off the ground. They fucking crawl up mountains. That's how broken a ballista is right now. Everyone seems to think, oh no, they need to be fine. Look, it literally crashes into the mountain. It then, it then fucking rolls up the mountain like it's out of control, and then it flies over the top, and then look at it teleport. So see where it goes from here? Watch. Oh, wait, that's too far. Watch it go up the mountain. Gets to here. Now watch it teleport to his location. See? It literally teleported to his location and blew him up. You fucking what, CIG? This shit needs to be massively fucking sorted out, because first of all, we know that ballistas are not going to be able to hide on the side of mountains, but watch this one. This is from me. So my wingman's died. This ballista gets me as well. Watch this. So I'm behind a fucking mountain, right? I'm behind a mountain. It's on the opposite side on the other view that we just saw, right? Watch this shit. So I'm behind here. Look at the missile. Does anybody notice anything fucking wrong with this? The missile literally crawled up the side of the mountain and flew towards me. Watch it fire. I'm behind the mountain as well, chat. There's the missile fired. Oh, look! Hi! I'm crawling up the side of the mountain, missile. Whee! Spinning backwards at me. Whee! And fucking takes me out. Fucking stop this shit, CIG. It's driving me nuts how bad missiles are in this game. Even with them slightly fixing them around, they're spinning towards me. And there's another one where the ballista fired a missile at me previously, and I'm behind the mountain, and the missile flew past me, so it came from my right to my left, and it instantly 180'd and turned and hit me. It's just like, and people are like, oh no, ballistas should be like this. It's like, so you're wanting literally where you have a lock and I win button, do you? It's just fucking moronic, man. It really is. When people say to me ballistas are fine, They are not fine. First of all, you can cling to the side of a mountain without falling down. Secondly, you can fire a missile that literally crawls up the side of the mountain and then literally behaves like it's a fucking laser beam. It can spin 180 on a dime. So as it flies past you, it doesn't go out and circle around like other missiles. It literally goes past you and goes and then flies back at you, you know? It's broken as fuck. And it needs to be sorted out. A needs to be deadly, right? A definitely needs to be deadly. But it should not be an I lock win button. And that's what it is right now. They need to be on the same flight mechanics, yes. And I'm hoping that the new changes CIG incorporate bring it in line. I don't know, Spunty. The worst part is, if you saw it, the missile is spinning around. So it's not on a real flight system. That's why they're so deadly and they can't be evaded. It's not on the same missile system, or it's not launching correctly. They're spinning around, dude. But you can't dodge it because it's not chasing you. It's literally fucking like a lock-on boomerang going at you, you know? If I'm going 1400 meters a second, I can just turn the fuck around and slow someone up? Yeah. But again, if a missile flies past you at 1400, it shouldn't just go and smack back into your face. It should go out and have to curve round. It's not like it fucking brings out wings and starts going go gadget fucking decouple mode to fly backwards, you know? It's not going like this, right? It's flying towards you, it's like, and then it flies past you and it's just going fucking right towards you. It's like, fuck off. It's not able to do that shit, you know? In DCS, some of the engineering player aerodynamically modeled the missile for them. Well, missiles in DCS are good. Star Citizen missiles are very much where they just literally fucking zoom around, you know? Interesting that something may have went over my head. What you doing, Razor Ship, eh? Whee! I think it's low flying. Yeah, it's just cruising around. But that's where I would love to see missiles changed, where... Oh, they're going vertical. I would love to see missiles be deadly, missiles have a good lock-on system, missiles have a good counter system, missiles not be janky as fuck, where they just define all the flight system in general. This is where I would love to see it, and the sad reality is I don't think we're going to see it anytime soon. Not in this year, anyway. And I really wish it was, because this ballista shit is... You know that a ballista can lock at 50 meters? 50 meters. Now, I feel that a ballista should have a weakness, and the weakness, chat, is if you get under 500 meters on it, that's the reward for doing so. And it shouldn't be able to lock missiles on you. It should have to point blank fire. But it can literally lock you at 75 or 50 meters or something like that, right? That's where I feel like you need to have like a Centurion, or you need to have somebody in the driver's seat of a ballista who is on the guns, right? So that if anyone is smart enough to get past your missiles and they get under 500, because you can only lock a ballista at 600 meters and under, and especially as noise doesn't work, never has done for ballistas, it needs to be where if you get under 500 meters, just like it is on a ship, that's its weakness. CIG have to add this in, because it's fucking stupid how these things can point blank lock launch on you, you know? No, ballistas have been out of whack for a while, Donkey. They are, dude. You can see it when you fire size 9 torpedoes. They don't fly correct. They're not flying like missiles, basically. Torpedoes do not fly like missiles. They're in this weird sort of half and half state. Ballista can kill you without missile warning. Yeah, exactly, yeah. And again, I want to point out that I want AA to be deadly, but AA should not be godly, I win. You've got no chance of even getting around me. And the easiest way to fix this right now is make it where if you're sitting 500 meters under it, it can't fucking launch its missiles. Just that's it. Because you gotta think of it, the AoE should do damage or something like that to the ship, you know. Hey Colin, how you doing, Chief? And that's where I would love to see it, especially when you've got the Centurion, right? The Centurion and the Ballista should be sort of like sat beside each other, within range of each other, and they cover each other. Not just one person sits in a Ballista and fucking wins, you know? They're doing very well, dude. There has to be a balance with those ships, you know? The server has decided on the missile path and it's just dragging the 3D model to its destination. Yeah, very much so right now. That's why it looks out of whack sometimes. Like when you're firing size 1s to like 4 or 3, sorry, it works fine. Like you see it, it flies out and it's flying true. But when you fire torpedoes, they wiggle, right? They wiggle. Almost like they just don't have the like the right system engaged, you know? And again, you can see here with these size 1s, they just fly really nicely. And you can dodge them. But dodging torpedoes is an absolute shit show right now because they don't. I don't know why CIG just didn't make torpedoes like missiles on the stats and just make it where it doesn't arm until like 10 seconds after launching or something like that, you know? It always annoys me that these things are like instantly armed the moment that they launch. Because I also don't feel that you should be able to point blank missile spam, personally, on ground vehicles. It should be where you get locked tone. Or there has to be a distance. They added this in when we had the problem with people missile spamming instead of actually changing the guns. They made missile operator mode because of that. And that you couldn't lock certain missiles after a range. So certain size 1s are down to what, 750 right now? But this 50-meter torpedo lock range is just bonkers, man. Absolutely bonkers. Yeah, exactly, yeah. So I definitely feel that the Ballista needs to be where it's powerful, but it requires 2 people. It needs somebody to defend the Ballista if somebody gets under the missile range. And the missile range should not be 50 meters. It should be like 750. And that's where your 2 size 2s would defend you. Because a fighter versus 2 size 2s whilst you're stationary is not good, you know? And you can't lock a missile on it anyway, so you've got to literally beam it down with your guns, and you've got to stay stationary. Which means that the turret play would be really, really good. It's very, very cheesy being able to fire missiles at that short range, even torpedoes. There needs to be a balance check with it. They need to be deadly, which they are deadly, but it also has to have a weakness. And right now it doesn't have a weakness unless you have 3 people gangbanging on it. Because obviously you can shoot the... If anybody knows, the best way to disable a Ballista is shoot the turret. Shoot the missiles. Because it actually fucking stops them from launching, by the way. Don't shoot the body of a Ballista. Even though it's the way to kill it. Shoot the turret and disable those fucking missiles. And then just kill it afterwards. It can't do shit. It's funny as fuck. You watch the door opening, the guy running out going, "Ah!" And then you just beam them down, you know? A lot of fun. A lot of fun when you have that. But again, the crazy lock range is just what breaks it for me. And they need to do something about the Centurion. The Centurion should not be lockable at that range. The Centurion should be the same as a Ballista, 600 meters. And the difference is when you get under that range, just make it where the fall off is gone. You've got to use the size 3 gun or 2 size 2s or something like that, you know? Because again, the Centurion, you can just shoot the guns off the turret and it becomes completely disabled. And that's their weaknesses. It's their literally detection and lock ranges that need to be sorted out. Which I think is like an easy fix for CIG. I don't think, like, detection range should just be literally a stat number that they do, you know? If anyone's popping in, the start of the show I said I've changed some of my settings for my joysticks to add a little bit of saturation in. So I'm not doing anything wildly crazy today because I'm just trying to get used to saturation gameplay, because I don't fly with saturation. I haven't flown ever in Star Citizen with saturation, but I'm wanting to make it a little bit lighter on my joysticks and not move my arms around as much, plus also help with PvP movement right now, because we did a test last night. As much as I am very, very evasive in my flight, my pip doesn't move away from my body. And that's why people are killing me or doing damage to me so easily. I'm being very evasive, but my pip is so precise because of how I fly that it doesn't move away from my body. So I need to learn to move more in this fucking nonsense tricording bullshit to make my pip disappear, so I'm not easily beamable, you know? So that's what we're working on this week or upcoming week. Learn the flight again, but also make it a little bit less precise for the game. Especially if they slow everyone down in 318. Slowing everyone down is not going to fix this game, by the way. The only way to fix this game is where people can't use certain flight methods to make their pip wiggle. That's it. That's the only way you fix this game. Isn't Frost the vector the indicator for the own pip? It is, yeah. It is. Because, again, I fly like a low flyer or atmosphere flyer. When I go into space, Church, my pip is not moving off my body. My ship is moving around like an evasive motherfucker, but because I'm so precise with my movement, my pip doesn't move as a defensive play, you know? So that's just me being too precise in my movement, and I need to be a little bit more loose, or I'm just an easy target right now. Because again, CIG have created the monster of tricording to basically manipulate your pip. And even if you do no afterburner tricord, it doesn't fix it. It's if you strafe in 3 axes, it does it, even without afterburner. But if you, I tested out yesterday with the guys, if you only strafe in 2 axes at once, it doesn't wiggle the pip. It's only because you're moving in 3. So technically this game, yes, is a 6 DOF, but if CIG want to make it easier on themselves, they need to make it where it's 5 DOF on combat. And that would get rid of their bad calculations. But then one could say just make, you know, work on getting better calculations. It's like maybe it's not possible. Or maybe it would take too long, who knows. It's a mouse and, no, because one of my guys, Duca, Church, is dual joystick, and his pip is moving around like a mouse and keyboard user did. Because he is doing the tricording stuff and I don't do it because I just massively disagree on it. I don't think you should have an advantage over G's on somebody just because you fucking tricord at the right time, you know? Like, it's more potent on a mouse and keyboard user because they don't have analog control, so they have the ability to just, you know, FPS game mode, which is practically what the flight system is right now, where you're just FPSing. But because I am too precise with my movement, I am not moving enough in tricord. I'm not moving in 3 axes of movement, and that's why my pip is very stale, very easy to hit. Obviously, it's a good thing because if CIG add in proper aerodynamics, you're not going to be able to tricord as easy because you'll just stall. But I don't have the time to wait for that, so I need to get out of my method of flying and into a better way of doing it for the current state of the game. The good thing is I can come back to my flight style anyway because it's just literally like flying in DCS World practically. Just you've got more strafes to use. And before Star Citizen I was playing a lot of like Jane games and IL-2 and stuff, so... Up, down, plus strafe and forward. Yeah. I think when I move, I basically, you know what I mean, like, there's a fucking 35G. I think what happens is I'm countering out my tricord by strafing. I basically do like 4 axes of movement, and that's what I need to just get out of the habit of, you know? You can already see there, long as I don't do my method of flying, it massively moves it around. Definitely 75. I know Duca was rolling on 05. It's too loose for me. So I'm gonna start with 75 or 075. This gives me a smooth movement, and I'm just gonna keep on this, not change it now, and get used to it. It was just way too sensitive with the 5. Now I have some of my precise movement, but obviously I can't snap my roll, snap my throttle, and get a good sweeping action in without having to move around too much. Like I look forward to when CIG add in all the new stuff. Very interested to learn some more things, especially for atmosphere flying. I get the biggest kick out of atmosphere flying, so I look forward to if they ever add in like turbulence, weather effects, strong winds, like, you know, big gales, stuff like that, sandstorms. Oh man, it would be really dope. More G's as well. They need to definitely get more potent on the G's. Again, another way that CIG can stop tricording abuse is the G's. Just make it where you just instantly black out when you do it. That's a quick fix. Use joules with rudder for pedals. Yeah, I use yaw on my pedals. Strong wind is a thing, yeah, but it's not strong. You know what I mean, Scorpiona? Like, it's not going to be like, oh shit, I need to go higher to get out of this sort of storm. I'm getting literally pushed and thrown around in it, you know? We have a little bit of wind, but it isn't like I'm gonna throw off your flying kind of thing. That's what I would like. I would be like where I'm like, you know, shaking about here kind of stuff, you know, as I try and curve round. Not fucking, oh, I'm doing like Mach 2 off the ground. Oh, there's a little bit of wind, but it's not really changing my vector, you know. That's what I'm meaning, because you can see the kind of cloud going in the effect. If we tone it down here, you can even see it better. It's above me right now. But this has no effect on my flight and speed. And that's what I'm talking about, where it would be just nicer to bring that in. I'm just gonna keep this on. It's a little bright for me ears. Does anybody know the time when Thingybob changes location? Jump Town. Does anybody know what time that changes? Alright, let's try a little bit of push on this. It's Lyria right now, yeah. I'm hoping it'll go to Yella afterwards, because I hate Lyria. It's too fast. Yella and Microtech are the ones that I would prefer to be on. I hate how somebody can just instantly go to 900 meters a second. It's just sad. Yeah, that feels really good, actually. Still way off precision from 1 to 1, but yeah, this is nice. I can get used to this. Oh, bad, bad. Oh, managed to regain that. Holy shit. Let's change out the view so I can actually see. Blacking out in sunglasses mode is not good. Like, it makes me feel like I'm tunnel visioning faster than I am. Probably dead. That's a lot. Yeah, it's fast. Whew. It was that yellow at start? Oh, it's gonna be a microtech then. Fuck's sake. Oh, that's annoying. I'm actually able to hold the speeds a lot faster with this, which is crazy. If I can get my precision up, this is a lot faster. Fucking cruising at 700, man. Like, some of these turns, we were getting zero flight lag as well. Like, it was almost in that sort of, like, perfect Aurora zone. So fast. Oh shit. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, we weren't making that turn. Fuck me. No way was it going around that corner. Yeah, that's fast, like. Sweaty as well. Whew. Very, very fast. Oh. Yeah, I like that. That is nice settings, like, for me, anyway. So we're rocking 75 on the strafes, on the roll, and the yawing as well, with like a 1.2 curve. This feels really, really good, actually. Very, very precise, but fuck me, the speed's like... Also, I'm noticing like barely any flight lag at the high speeds. So flight lag again, if anybody doesn't know about flight lag, when you yaw, see how it bounces? If you can eliminate that, you don't get any drag, which means that you rocket at your axis speed. And this is fast. Very, very fast. We're pushing 600 normally. I would be at 500 in some of these turns. So I'm a good 100 meters a second faster. Ooh, we're gonna need afterburn for this. Oh no, this is bad. Bad. Too fast. Too fast. Trying to push some limits here, though. Alright. That holds it nicely there. That's good turn motion there. We're gonna sweep it around. 432, doing a 7G turn. Lining up now. Oh, we're dead. Yeah. Right. So fucking fast. Like, I'm not used to these speeds. So we could hold it around one turn. But we're doing like, what does that say? No, it's 500. Like, 500. And then obviously way too much on the turn there. That's some good speed. Good, I'm happy with that. Definitely more, or I can fly with this instead of doing the 0.5. But it fucking hurts, like. Exclamation mark, hold fast for homie, guys. If you want to help out another content creator who we're fundraising for. Alongside, it's all been generously started by Kid and Bum. You have Agent Tech and Rainbow Wrangler doing all the fundraising side of this. I dropped a wee 50 banger 2 hours ago. If we can get to 500 UEC, or it's UEC? Fuck, what am I saying? If we can get to $3,500 by the end of the show, I'll be super, super happy, guys. Exclamation mark, hold fast for homie. Get involved. And I must appreciate it. But also get involved in the giveaway. You got 3 hours left, guys. For an LTI Talon with skin package, all that shit. just for me being able to say thank you very much, guys, for hitting that 3K goal. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And again, this isn't for somebody's peripherals, joysticks. This is for a family to survive on just now, whilst they work out other things in their life. Crawl has the best movement. Shaky as hell. Right, I'm gonna try something here as well. Let's get this on claim. Let's go this. Wait. I got a couple of railguns if anybody's in the market for purchasing. Putting them at 500 a piece right now though. 500,000. 500 thou. Alright, I'm gonna try something in a little bit of Vandal Swarm just to see how it feels for basic aiming. Oh, no, 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 no. Where am I going? Where am I going? There we go. Well, let's see what it feels like to aim. Shingle Prayer, Vandal Swarm. I think I'll be on the right ship for this. Just the tip, just to see how it feels. Exactly, dude. Exactly. Alright. Starts in like 3. Oof. Again, I really wish CIG would just fucking default all MFDs to this setup.
Warning. There are multiple hostiles inbound.
Alright. Let's play. Obviously, I know it's NPCs. But yeah, let's... Bad actually. So speed control just needs a little bit of adjusted. We'll get used to that because obviously we've been flying around in atmosphere. So let's do this. So oversteer on my end, or it could be the NPCs, I don't know.
Destroyed.
Oh my god. The NPCs are missiling. Go for this guy. That fucking laser beam. Oh god. So fucking, how did they not die in that?
Target destroyed.
Ooh. Oh, also I need to change this a bit more. How I like it. What's your favorite ship manufacturer? Whatever works, really. I like Anvil, I like, what's it called? Crusader. Jesus.
Target destroyed. Warning. There are multiple hostiles.
There are multiple hostiles incoming. What do I actually have on these? Oh, right, okay. I'm missing missiles.
Target destroyed.
Missile.
Target destroyed. Target destroyed. Target destroyed. Target destroyed.
This actually feels really nice, actually. Obviously, it's only against NPCs, but feels good. Sweet. Oosh.
Target destroyed.
Not bad. Or my marker has actually disappeared.
Target destroyed. Target destroyed. Target destroyed. Warning. There are multiple hostiles inbound. Target destroyed.
here. Markers are like really weird, where I see it on radar, but I don't see it fucking like an icon. Oh.
Target destroyed.
Oh. NPCs. Oh, hi, Square. Hello, Melina. You running away? Alright.
Target destroyed. Contact. Elite units en route.
Ah, there. Wow. The hell did that one get in there? Woo!
Target destroyed. Target destroyed.
And these markers are so scuffy, like. Ugh. Hello.
Target destroyed.
Where's that marker going? What the fuck? There it is. Holy shit, this is so scuffy.
Target destroyed.
Like, where is this one? It's up there. What the fuck?
Target destroyed.
Move though. Where are you? The Priest. Good movie. Yeah, I like this. It's gonna take me a wee while to like learn the forward and backward, like slowing down in space, because I'm too used to no saturation, but it does feel like everything's a little more smoother, you know?
Target destroyed.
Yeah.
Target destroyed.
Oh, shit, Mizu! Oh my god. That was cinematic as fuck. That missile hit somebody else, I think. Oh god. Now I know how fucking Will Smith fought Independence Day. Ugh.
Target destroyed.
Can I please target you? Thank you. Be going. I can't remember what buttons I have for targeting. Oh. Oh man. Might need to change some buttons then. I can pause this, kinda, yeah. Alright, let's have a look. Can I have my options there? What do I actually have bound for targeting? Not that. Is it that? That one. Is that it? No, that's removal pins. And why does the fucking mouse disappear? Like, they still haven't sorted out this shit. Like, it's so bad. I got that. I got that. I know these ones. It's this one. Oh. Oh, shit. What was it? Oh, was that? Ah, right. Alright.
Zero hostile contacts remaining. Warning. There are multiple hostiles inbound.
Man, these fucking things are so dodged, like. Oof. Oh, that's cool. You can spray across and get it that way. Real dogfighting. Check. I actually have. Yeah, we'll just play with them. Ah, you could disable the NPCs. Oh, fuck off! I just want to play with a Mishu. God damn it. They need to make a mode where you can disable the wingman. I literally want everything on me just to see how it feels. I guess I could just kill the the blues though. That was a miss. Took fucking ages to fire that. Oh, look at that missile, it's so good. Just circles around, doesn't know what the fuck to do, like. Do this again. Feels good. I like this. It's a little bit, I don't have to move my hands too much. It's just gentler movements instead. Just gotta get used to it. Ooh. Real dorks. How you doing? Thank you very much for that raid. Massively appreciate that. Get some vibes in chat please guys if anyone's awake. Thank you so much for that. What's your here's guys? Get involved! Exclamation mark hold fast for homie. Get involved in that giveaway. It's ending in like a few hours. Ooh. the end of it? Oh, yay. That was actually quite fun. Nice FPS, like. Hey, thank you for that, Miss Hell. Skyrim Glitch. Appreciate that. Is there a reason you use fixed size 2 instead of free? Right, so, Theo, sorry I missed that, dude. If you ever guys have a question to ask me, just always at me. Why I like the size 2 setup over size 3 is we did a test where say for example you're shooting a Gladius with an arrow. A full mag of size 3, or like, if you have an arrow with size 3, 2 size 1s, a full mag depletes the shield and a bit of damage on a Gladius. If you use size 2 and size 1s on an arrow, a full mag will deplete the shields and do damage to the hull as well. Now, the size 3 would then take in where it would do more damage to the hull than the size 2s. The difference is, why I like the size 2 version better is, it nearly insta-reloads. And it's literally just one extra magazine to fire on people. And especially when it gets to high speed combat, I prefer the reload over the damage. Because as PvP and stuff like that can be a bit janky at times, you can be shooting and your whole magazine is instantly gone, and then you're like, oh, I need to wait for it to recharge. I like the fact that it's literally half the time to recharge a magazine with the size 2. Now, if I was going to use a Gladius, I would use size 3. If I was going to use the Saber, I would use size 3. But for the arrow, I really like this quick fire mag setup. Because for me, it feels more like that stuff. You want the pirate skin? Oh, Raptor, like, again, guys, if you guys ever want to get in contact with me, you have to do @DarkLaw. It's the only way to ever, like, advertise yourself on a streamer's channel that you're wanting to communicate. For me, I massively prefer it because, again, Scorpina said, what's your favorite ship or favorite manufacturer? And because Scorpina did @DarkLaw, I instantly replied to it. But if you guys don't do that, I just, again, I'm gonna play the game over replying to something I don't even know what's going off in chat, if that makes any sense. But that was fun. That was fun. Again, thank you very much for the raid. Diffs, welcome in, Chief. Wonder if we could go to Jump Town. Maybe have a wee shot. What time? Actually not. This is definitely like the sort of right time. Again, still not feeling 100% from yesterday. And yeah, there's not much going in game, and I think I've tested the settings I want to do, so I'm gonna go and get some sun, get some VIT, and head out. However, guys, exclamation mark, hold fast for homie, right? You gotta get involved. I will be doing the draw when I get back home tonight, which will be at 5 o'clock. It ends. It ends in 2 hours, guys, right? And I will be straight in contact with the person, whoever wins it, when I get back, as we do with all our giveaways. But please, please get involved. All you have to do is go to Hold Fast Homie Twitch channel, follow him, go to the page where the donation stuff is on. Let's try and get, obviously we're not going to be able to achieve it on the stream just now, but let's try and get to 3,500 by the end of today, please. Would massively, massively appreciate that, guys. And I'm sure everyone else would also as well. And all that good stuff. But yeah, thank you very much for the support today. Massively enjoyed dialing some settings. I'm going to just make sure they're all finished before I head off. No miss? No missing that. But appreciate all the love, nevertheless. I hope you have a fantastic Sunday, guys. Let me find somebody I can raid to. And stuff. Revamp, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate that. Remember, guys, you don't need to follow me for the giveaway. It's all to do with Holdfast to help him out and his family out and all that jazz. Let's have a look here. Fucking Razor. No problem, Rio. No problem. Let's have a look. Who do we have online? We've got Salty Mike, who is doing ATC Pay to Win and Reputation. Ooh, at 9 AM. Henkin's still on, but we raided Henkin yesterday. Mums is on. I owe raids to Mums. Let me just double check. That's where we're going. Yeah, boys. Yeah, we're going there. We're going to Mums. I don't know how long they're going to be on for, but Mums always raids me, so I'm going to drop a re-raid. He's got like a wolf. We don't have a raid message, actually, Rio. We're like, we just basically, like, you can do exclamation mark raid, I think it is. But obviously it's only for people that are subscribed to the channel. Like, generally, just type wherever you want, you know. I've never really been into, like, raid messages and stuff like that. But again, thank you so much for the support, guys. Massively appreciate it. Catch you tomorrow for day 82 in a row. 81 has been completed. Thank you to all the love up here. The re-red ties, the follows. Appreciate it, guys. All the raids as well today. Hope you have a wonderful Sunday. Stay safe. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. All that good stuff. Thank you so much. Miss L, thank you very much for that gifted sub to Rio Talks. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Or Rio Talks, sorry. I appreciate you. Thank you, guys. Right, let's go. Let's go. Have a great day. Thank you, Glitch, Real, Miss L, Skylum, Raptor Jaws, stuff like that. Come back, and if you need help with Pirate Swarm or something like that, just let me know, and we'll maybe do it tomorrow or something like that. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Have a good Sunday. Peace out.